All right. Well, in theory, we are now live. Welcome to JP Live. We're actually on a whole new platform. We're on Restream now, which actually allows us to stream our live to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube all at the same time. So we're actually live on 5 different platforms right now, which is awesome. HD quality. I broke out the bow tie for everybody. All right. So welcome to JP Live. I am amped for this one because I love when success happens and it's so palpable and everyone feels so good about it. So I love to share that with people. Let's just do quick introductions. I guess let's start with the family, Amanda and Matt.
Hi, I'm Amanda Higgins. I'm MJ's mom.
That's me.
MJ.
I'm MJ. I'm
Oh.
her son.
Boy.
I'm Matt. I'm the father of our son here.
There we go. MJ, how old are you, bud?
13.
13, going on 30. Yeah, little big man, totally. Dylan?
Hey everybody, my name is Dylan Kapusta. I'm one of the lead coaches for Onward Rising, and I'm also MJ's mentor for Onward Support.
Yes, so this is just going to be great tonight. I guess I want to start out by just getting a good understanding of how did you guys find us? I mean, I know it was probably a Facebook ad that started it, but were you searching for something, or did it just come to you, or how did it all start?
I actually found you through Instagram. I was searching, but I just feel like it was kind of divine intervention. You came across my feed just on your own. I didn't, and I watched your videos, and it really spoke to me what you were doing with executive functioning skills and children with ADHD, and that was something that we were searching. We didn't even really know like what we were looking for, and we found you. And MJ had been struggling for a while. I would say probably since 4th grade. We were seeing him having a hard time in school and his grades declining and his mental health struggles and emotional regulation struggles. It was all compounding. And we were just kind of desperate to find some relief for him because he was having such a hard time. And we found your program, and it really was a miracle.
Huh. Awesome. MJ, before joining Core Confidence, what felt hardest for you? What felt like the struggle for you?
For me, it was kind of like the motivation of doing the work. Like, I know I had to do the work. I know if I didn't do the work, I'd feel like I was disappointing my parents. But I just didn't want to do the work. I didn't have the motivation to complete it, even though I knew it must be completed.
Yeah, the dreaded non-preferred task. We spend a lot of time talking about non-preferred tasks, the things that you don't want to do. So what's different now, MJ? What changed?
Well, really, I've just been having more motivation to do the work because ever since I've been on this program, they've been helping me to do the work, and they've been helping me to motivate myself. And also now that I'm doing the work, I'm feeling wow, I feel really good that I did the work, and I want to feel this feeling more often. So I've just had more motivation to do the work because it feels like I need to do the work, and it feels good to do the work.
Yeah, the wins are cycling for you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. That's wow, gives me chills listening to you guys talk about it, honestly. Dylan, what do you think? You had the opportunity to work with MJ from the start of all this, and are continuing to find ways to support him now going forward. What growth have you seen that really stands out the most?
Yeah, well, I think since I first met MJ's quite the personality. So before, he's definitely not afraid of the camera. So I think MJ's just always had a confidence about him naturally. So I think it really was finding that motivation, like MJ's talking about. So actually, the question for you, MJ, did that motivation come from after seeing your wins, or was it something that we talked about during class that made you think about maybe a long-term vision? I don't know, where'd the motivation come from for you?
Well, it started probably a little bit of both. When I started the class, I didn't want to do the work, obviously, because work is boring. But then as I started to help, and you guys started to mentor me, and I got help from you guys, I started to be completing the work, and I started to see my grades improving, and I started to the work got easier, and I started to make my parents even happier because I'm more succeeding. and I was just like ever like that. I used to just. I'm saying I used to so much.
Okay.
The,
You're saying all
the
the right
motor,
things, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't you
yeah,
worry.
the
You're saying all the right
motivation is coming
things.
from being motivated. If that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Well, and
Well,
he
MJ, I was gonna say.
really,
Oh,
he
you go ahead,
really,
Dad. Yeah.
he really, like, it was almost like a light switch, really. Like, I mean, the second we started this, he instantly turned it around. And you guys really equipped him with the organization and the tools and the things. So, I mean, like he said, it was kind of like all at once because he really, got in the program and applied everything and turned it around instantly.
Yeah.
It was very good for his self-esteem to see his grades going up when for a while it was just a steady decline. And that was a big blessing for him and for us to see too.
That's great. From a coach perspective, I'd say I noticed that from MJ's buy-in, not just in class and his engagement, but also him attending office hours, taking advantage of those supports, and just really advocating for himself and speaking up and being confident and being determined. I think in the long term, it was really great to see his growth. All the students in that cohort specifically, but really, I'm grateful to continue onward mentoring with MJ and continuing to partner and continue to be a part of his growth.
You talk about that light switch that went off. It's interesting. It's like sometimes it's just the engine is primed and it's just the spark is the catalyst and it gets things roaring, So I feel like that's kind of what was here is that MJ wanted to get it right, but just didn't really know how to start. And once we got started, then as he describes that, like the engine starts kicking over and then it runs, it hums. So that's just so great. Matt, I would love to hear from you. Like what changes did you notice first? Were they, and you guys are homeschooled, is that right?
Nope,
No?
he goes to public
Okay.
school.
Yeah, great. So yeah, like what changes did you notice coming from the school and also in your home?
Well, I would say, I mean, it was a struggle to get him to do, well, number one, be honest about, the homework. Because some of the teachers are really good at sending home, on a calendar, a digital calendar, and I'm trying to learn how to do all that, but it was getting the honesty out of him. And then we come to find out that, hey, something is due tomorrow or something was due 2 weeks ago. Whereas now it's like, I mean, he would come home and he would say, hey, I've got this thing that's due in 3 days. I've got this thing that's due at the end of the week. And also things in the classroom changed, where we were, sometimes getting some reports home about, being a little bit cheeky in the classroom. He's a good kid, but, likes to be the center of attention, and that's literally right now the center of attention. But it was just like instantly he just really responded to all the coaching and all the mentoring and really hit the ground running, really took it very seriously. He was really wanting to get into, because one of the funny things, because of the time zone difference, the office hours for us sometimes are on the way home from school.
Yeah.
So, he would be logging on as we're like driving. And because he really wanted to get in there and get engaged and talk about what was going on. And he really took full advantage of everything.
One of the things I wanted to mention was like his teachers noticed a marked difference in him once he started Onward Rising. Even at the end of the school year, we received an email from his science teacher just describing like how much she saw him work hard and turn around his grades and just excel. And it was a beautiful reminder of the success of the program and the work that he put in. And it was great to hear that feedback from his teacher.
That's amazing. MJ, you want to tell me what it was about office hours that felt so good to you?
Oh man, I wanted to like interrupt you guys and talk about office hours like this ever since you
I'm
mentioned
giving you
it.
the chance, buddy.
Office hours was the best. I would like get home from school, not want to do homework, but then I'd be like, I have an hour. So I'd hop on office hours, and then there would be like people, there'd probably be at least like 2 adults able to help me. There was an English teacher and a math teacher, and I could always ask them for help whenever I needed to. And it was also just like really nice to like, I remember one of the classes, they taught us like to like efficiently work, get rid of the distractions. So I would like go in my room and then I'd like turn off all of my stuff, or like I'd just go into like my sunroom and I'd work and I would get a bunch of work done. And then later in the day, I'd have the time to like, play video games, eat dinner, do all the stuff I still wanted to. And I'd be able to, do my work. So I would have my work done. So I'd feel good in the morning. So I wouldn't have to be stressed out. And I'd be able to have that little fun me time after all my stuff's
So
done.
you like had a dedicated time to get the work done, and you knew that's when the work was getting done, and then you basically earned yourself the freedom to choose the rest of your time how you saw fit. And your parents would feel good because they know that you had like not only like coaches but also teachers. Like you had all sorts of like people there.
It was incredible to have Fred, knowing that he had tutoring after school and that it helped him, stay organized, stay on task, and complete his work. That was a struggle for him before, and he would struggle emotionally at school because he knew in the back of his mind his work wasn't done or he didn't have something turned in, and that would cause him a lot of anxiety at school and some emotional dysregulation at times, and that really curbed once he got into this program. It really helped him feel more confident.
Dylan, do you want to explain, as the office hours manager, like the person who kind of oversees the structure of how we run office hours, how is academic support tied into the work that we do?
Yeah, absolutely. So like MJ said, we have people with different skill sets, right? So we have people that are involved in high school academics to college level with different skill sets. And so what we do is try to move away from one-on-one tutoring. We really push the independence piece. So kind of checking in initially when students arrive to office hours, discussing with the mentors that are on site about what they want to work on for that time. If it's a specific subject, trying to get into it about what the students' issues are, maybe doing a little bit of teaching, but then really encouraging that independent work and then checking in for accountability, making sure students are staying focused, while students also being able to advocate for when they do need more intensive support and maybe a little bit more one-on-one tutoring for them to understand the material and they feel more comfortable pursuing that on their own. So again, still flowing with the original core confidence teaching piece of really pushing that independence and letting the students figure it out for themselves while speaking up for support when they need it.
Awesome. And with the Onward support that MJ has, he does continue to access office hours. So when the school year starts, he'll be able to continue to tap into that office hours as well as one-on-one time with Dylan throughout the month. Also, Amanda, you've been pretty active in the parent collective, and that will continue to be available to you. Is that something that you think you'll continue to access, or do you feel like you got stuff out of it and you're good now?
No, I really enjoy learning in the classes and the different topics that you provide. I think it's great also to have us just like a collective place that parents of children with, neurodivergent brains can be together and share our experiences and just speak to each other. It's really nice to have that as part of this program. I really enjoy it.
Awesome. We enjoy having you there and the input that you share when you're there as well, and the questions that you ask. I'm going to move on to the last part of this story, if you will, which is the ESA. Now, I'm actually surprised, in all honesty, because I thought that the ESAs were limited to homeschool families. So in Arizona, I know that they had recent regulation that have made the ESAs more equitable and available, and you guys were able to take advantage of that. Is that what happened? Oh man,
Yeah.
Can you tell me more?
Yeah, so I actually navigated throughout the whole thing, luckily with some assistance with Jason. We went to our school, and part of the Arizona program, you have to have like a 504, which is something that you have to get through the school, or an IEP. I'm not familiar specifically how the IEP is acquired. We got MJ a 504.
Yeah, the IEP is a little bit more rigorous and hard to get. You really have to have a severe disability to get an IEP.
Okay. Yeah, and so he qualified for the 504 with the ADHD diagnostic, but then still you have to meet with we met with 2 teachers and 2 administrators, And basically it was kind of like a meeting to see if he would qualify for it, and he did. We really got good participation from the school, so we were very blessed to have that. Then once they give you the 504, you simply get onto the Arizona Department of Education website. And I promise you, I am not good at this kind of stuff, and I was able to navigate it. Basically you just, you go online and you follow all the way through, all the prompts, and you have to upload the 504. You obviously have to upload that you are an Arizona resident. Then within 30 days, you will get a response. We got a response, I think, within a couple of weeks. I've heard some people get a response within a couple of days. And then once you have, because you'll get a applicant portal, and then that applicant portal turns into like your actual portal, and then it tells you, the funding schedule. We were even looking at it today at the coffee shop, kind of seeing how it would go once that account is funded, how we would then fund Onward Rising. But it's completely, covered and then some. And it's really, I was really shocked. Whenever anybody says you're dealing with, the government on doing something, we always picture the DMV, that kind of thing. This was not at all the case. It was very simple to navigate. They even have a phone number where you call, and I was shocked because a human picked up the phone. Because I had some questions, and it was very easy to do. So I highly encourage you to keep pushing that, because we found out about that through you, Jason.
Yeah, I think that's so surprising to me. Like this is like it's your state, and this is such a cool resource. Is it a hidden secret, or just? I mean, I just wonder what was the. How is this? I don't live there. I live in Vermont. We don't have anything like it here. We have school choice, which is cool, but we don't have anything like this. Like, how is this a thing that not everyone is taking advantage of?
Well, I don't think they're ever excited to give away money. They're definitely quick to, for the taxes, but this is one of those things that, if you have the, somebody like yourself that informs you, I agree with you. I wish the school would say, hey, if we do this, this, and this, you can get some assistance. But yeah, I don't think it's out there just because it's, they don't want it. I'm guessing they don't want it to be abused.
Blow up.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think that would be very easy, because you have to get the school to buy in. That's the important thing. You have to get the school to buy in to help you produce that 504. And then once you have that, it's pretty smooth sailing. Yeah.
Amanda, can you talk about like how the ESA? You guys said it was like a blessing to you guys. I mean, like I remember we did negotiate a little bit on the cost of the program up front, because I just wanted to get MJ some help so that we didn't necessarily, ask you guys for the full price up front. But then to continue on would not have been possible without the ESA, right?
Oh, absolutely wouldn't have. I've shared with you that I work in education, and it's, I love it, but money is tight, and to be able to, you worked with us on the cost of the program from the beginning, and then to tell us, that we could potentially qualify for a scholarship for MJ through the ESA program, and then we did. Enabled us to continue, and we're very thankful and grateful that we can do that.
Awesome. Well, I'm thankful to have you guys here. MJ, last question for you, and then there's a question for everybody, all right? Last question for you is this. If there was another student that was watching tonight and feeling frustrated with like executive function, like the way you were feeling, what would you want them to know? You've got right now 4 people are watching, so let those 4 people know. No, more people will watch later. I'm kidding. But what would be the thing for you that you would want other kids to know about the program?
Definitely it's the best thing that's like academically ever happened and like helpful to me. And like when you join the program, it gets like worked in school and motivation, like I was talking about, gets like exponentially easier. It's just like literally, like kind of like my dad said, it's like a switch. Like I joined the program, I did a few classes, and then schoolwork started to fly by, and then I'd have more time to hang out with my friends and kid time instead of just like homework and stuff. And it's just like this program is amazing, and I'm so glad my parents helped me to get to where I am right now.
MJ, you were one charming little dude. You really are. All right, here's the question for everyone. This is for Dylan, for the adults in the room. What is something that you understand now that you wish someone had helped you see sooner? Who wants to go first?
Ladies.
That's a great question. I
On the
think,
spot.
one, I would say discovering this program. I feel like it was luck. I mean, I am very thankful that I found you, and it's really kind of changed the trajectory of our family and MJ's life and ours. And I'm very grateful to be part of it. And we really believe in what you're doing. And I just am thankful we can continue to grow as a family in this program.
Amazing. I'm so thankful for you to be here and say all those wonderful things. I really appreciate it. Matt, what do you understand now that you wish someone had helped you see sooner?
Well, I mean, this was definitely answered prayers. I mean, we really prayed about this, and but like you said, I do wish there was more visibility to the access of things like this. My wife found you, but we never found the ESA and the 504 without you. So I do wish, for other families that was more visible. So I'm very grateful that we know about it. But it's a game changer. So I wish people knew about that.
Well, Matt, you're helping us tonight make it more visible. On 5 different platforms, we're talking about it in HD quality. So thank you for being a part of that and helping us to get the good word out so that everyone could know not just about Onward Rising, but honestly, that's what I think about ESA. It's like, what if you don't need executive functioning support? That's fine. The ESA can be so many things for you, whatever it needs to be, and you certainly pay your money in taxes. So it's great that they're finding ways to put that money into the kids who need it the most, because often the money flows to the top of the pyramid, and it's nice to see that some of it reaches the working class too. So I think
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Dylan, what do you something you now understand, and yours might be not about MJ specifically, but maybe the bigger thing with you and I is we've built our working relationship now. What is something that you understand now that you wished someone had helped you see sooner?
Yeah, how much a neurodivergent community needs to be seen and heard. I think to Matt's point, I think in terms of visibility and access, I think that it is limited across the country. And I think it's something that needs to be more visible, more accessible. And hopefully our program can support even more students and families across the country and maybe a global reach from there. So I think that visibility, access, and supporting communities, especially in our case, neurodivergent communities, is extremely important.
Amazing. Guys, that was for sure my favorite live that I've done. Thank you for your time. I'm going to hit the end button now.